Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Pinchas. One of the topics we have in this Parsha is the Benos Slavchad, the daughters of Slavchad who died without having any sons, and therefore these daughters who loved Eretz Yisrael wanted to make sure they didn't lose out because there were no males to receive a portion in the land of Israel. So in Perek Chav Zayin Pasuk Daled, chapter 27, verse 4, it says, Lama Yigor Hashem Avinu mitoch mishpachto. Why should our father's name be lost from amongst his family? So the Sefer Torah Tavlin, volume 2, by Rav David Hoffman, tells a story about an Israeli youth named Yair Eitan, and his family had a business, a distribution, a produce business in northern Israel. And when he was able to drive, he started driving his route. And one of the stops was a yeshiva leiv v'nefesh, which was a Baal Tshuva place. And whenever he passed by, he'd see all this excitement about enthusiasm about Torah. So he started stopping in. He was getting more and more excited. And finally he told his parents what he had discovered. His father was upset and said, no son of mine is going to become an old-fashioned Jew like that. So from now on, you're not going to deliver to that spot. But this son, who is by now 18 years old, he was a little bit put off by his father's attitude, and he snuck in and went to the yeshiva, and he realized he had to go a little further away so he could actually learn more Torah. So he disappeared and left a note for his parents, but his father tracked him down, and the father blamed the yeshiva, the Rosh Yeshiva of Leiv Nefesh, for brainwashing his 18-year-old son to go learn Torah. So this trial was a little bit of a sensation in Eretz Yisrael. The media was there, and as Yair testified, he said, "No, it was all my own volition. I wanted to do it. I learned about Torah, and I was enjoying it. And I want to learn more." And the father was saying that, nope, he was coerced. Meanwhile, the judge, who was an old man, was looking often at the father of Yair Eitan. Finally, when Yair left the stand, the judge asked the father, he goes, "Are you by any chance from Eastern Europe, where your name used to be Stark?" And the father, not knowing where this is going, said, "Yes." And he said, "From the Polish town of Pinsk?" And the father said, "Yeah, that's where my family was." All of a sudden, the judge got more upset, and he was saying, "Well, I remember you. You came from a very religious family. Your mother was always doing chesed. Your father was very learned, and you started going off the derech, and you were mechal Shabbos, and overnight you made your parents age, and your mother would cry many, many tears during hadlakas neros for Shabbos, for lighting the candles for Erev Shabbos. She would cry." The judge continues, says, "I wondered what happened to those tears. I'm not a religious man, but I believe in God, and I wondered what happened to those tears. Now I finally have the answer. Because if you remember, Mr. Stark, or Mr. Eitan, whichever one you go by, when your friends at various times said, why don't you at least privately don't violate Shabbos, out of courtesy to your parents, you said, well, I'm 18, I make my own decisions. And now you say that your 18-year-old son cannot make his own decisions to learn the Torah that your mother cried about? Case dismissed." So right now we're in the middle of the Bein HaMitzarim, the 3 weeks, which is really 22 days, not 21. And the reason why Nebuchadnezzar merited to destroy our Beis Hamikdash was because he took 3 steps in honor of Hashem. Hashem rewards everything that a person does. If he rewarded a guy for taking these 3 steps for such an elevated, even though it's not good for us, but such a powerful kavod for him, so surely what he'll do for Jews to do things right. And we see that this woman who cried tears that her son should come back on the derech, even though it didn't help the son, but it brought back the grandson. We should be considerate at this time of year especially to do things the chvod Hashem, to be kind the mitzvahs. We should bring the Gula of Meir B'Yameinu. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.